good evening, or night, I should say. It's like 1 a.m. But I've been quite sick and I slept for 16 hours last night. So, yeah, I won't be sleeping anytime soon. So I thought I'd record another vlog on something I did today and quite some other days too, which is learning a language. And it's, in my case, I'm learning Spanish. And the way that I'm approaching it right now is by just listening a podcast and using Hellotalk to talk to people, talk to people from over the world that are learning Dutch. And yeah, you can just see on this app who is learning a specific language, and you just fill in like a basic profile and what language you're learning, and you can just write them. And so what I've been doing, like, first I will talk about this podcast I'm listening. So I don't know any Spanish, to be honest. I know some basic words from I don't know, listening Spanish songs or some phrases. But that's about it. And I do have a big knowledge of Latin and French, which really helps with understanding. But yeah, so when listening this podcast, it's the one I'm listening is called Chill Spanish Listening Podcast on Spotify, and it's pretty nice. And the way that I'm trying to learn it is really like also very connecting to the moment over and over again as I'm listening this podcast, and sort of I guess really connecting to sometimes, for example, my brain, like which can I feel the language part being activated, and what is it exactly doing? And then I try to not really actively be learning, but rather focusing on the moment and what is like observing what is happening while I'm listening this podcast. And yeah, sometimes I will, for example, learn only one word from an episode. The episodes are like 6 minutes, so then. But yeah, if I learn one word in 6 minutes, and I think that's still really good, because at least this word will probably remain long time in my memory, and definitely contribute overall to sort of, yeah, I don't know, the accessibility of it in my memory somehow. I know. But it also, I guess, makes the language learning a lot more fun, because I'm not really actively learning, but I'm just enjoying the sound of a foreign language. I'm enjoying the energy of the person who's giving the podcast. And ultimately, I do actually end up very much kind of sliding into my sort of listening, understanding mode, and knowing what the person is talking about anyways. But yeah, really starting from a point of having not really any expectations and just enjoying listening. Yeah, so that's kind of one mindful way of approaching learning a language. And the other one, which is so I guess for this podcast one, you really practice your listening skills in some way. And then for talking, I literally just sent all these people an audio message, usually in Dutch first, because I feel like then I show some like willingness to help them to learn, like that I'm willing to help them to learn. And then after we talk Dutch for a bit, I mix in some Spanish. But it's kind of, it feels a bit tiring for me to always have the same conversation which you would maybe normally have when you meet a person for the first time. So like, I don't know, where are you from? What are you studying? What are you doing? Where do you live? These kind of questions. So there's these basic interests on their profile. So it could be like pizza or hamburgers, and I just write them, or I just send them an audio message, and I'm like, okay, why do you like hamburgers in Dutch? Or yeah, and then yeah, some people, I've noticed I've had to write a lot of people, and Some people don't respond. Some people respond back in English, which I find interesting because you're trying to learn Dutch or trying to teach Spanish, and then you would be talking in English on a language learning app. But I think a lot of people are shy to just talk, which is, yeah, I don't know. It's the only way to learn speaking, right? And I guess this app is also used for other things than just speaking. But yeah, it's interesting. And then, yeah, what I've noticed is actually, it also makes it also makes it so that you don't have this whole like, oh shit, I'm meeting a person, I need to do certain or say certain things, or because from this very spontaneous like, do you like hamburgers kind of starting point, you just at least for me, it makes it easier for myself to just start speaking. Don't be shy, or accept your shyness, and just, yeah, keep going like that. And obviously my Spanish is terrible, so it will be like, I don't know, aprender los hamburgueros or something, and half the time they don't understand me. But yeah, I do feel like that's is a really nice way to start, and it's also, it doesn't it makes it really fun. Like, I can do it every day. And even if you make like I think I just said how to learn hamburgers, and los hamburgueros, I don't even know if it's something you can say. um but yeah, it makes it even more fun, and shows the creative potential that you can just have with language and expressing yourself in general. So yeah. Okay, so I think a lot more to be said about this topic, but these are just some thoughts that I wanted to share. And it's just it's like a really mindful way of just learning a language and making it fun for yourself, and to quite some degree still learning a lot. So thank you, and see you next time.